What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Salud Cabrones podcast. I am Danny Villegas.
And I am Javier Ledesma.
And we are coming to you live from the Midwest Toy Show in Romeoville, Illinois. And one of our guests today, we have Mr. Ernesto Ruiz. Ernesto, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Hey, yo.
Oh, easy.
I like this.
Yo, did he just Scott Hall us on our show, bro?
He sure did.
I think he just Scott Hall us on our show, bro.
You know what?
Right?
I've always liked this guy since we met him. I like him even more now, bro. I like him even more now.
I think he's just oozing machismo now.
I think he is.
Never.
But no, Ernesto, man, thank you for coming and hanging out with us, dude. Thank you. Me and Javier were talking because we did a LC3 just a few weeks ago, and we were looking because you were sitting right next to us, and we were watching you. Like, man, this guy has a really cool job. You do like authentication, right, for the purchases and like what they get.
The autographs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
First of all, what's your company called?
it's mass authentication services, and what they do is they authenticate and witness all autographs on site, including if you have something that you didn't get authenticated at a convention or a private signing, you could always bring that in to us, and we'll verify that it's real. So,
And how do you go about that? How do you authenticize that it's real? Because obviously there's a lot of fakes
tricky.
out there.
It could be tricky because there's a lot of good tattoo artists, a lot of good designers, that can just art their way through it, and just try and outline it or forge, for a better word. But no, so pretty much if you were to bring us something outside that wasn't at the convention or on site with us, it's a process. So I take a photo and we send it to our authenticators. We have a group chat, and pretty much it's real simple. They either tell me it's real or it's not. So I can't, me physically or from a previous experience, I can't just go off of what people tell me or show me. So it's a real serious thing that we take a lot of pride in. There's a lot of experienced people that know more than me, and I trust them. So it's a team effort. It's not just me. This is built by Parker. He's in Texas. Parker started, selling Funkos, and then became part of the convention community. And he saw pretty much it's a growing industry. He saw a void there that he could fill with his services. So with his experience and the team that we have, we're in 7 different states, and we do a lot of big conventions. We're still small, don't get me wrong, we're still growing, but with the team that we have, I feel fully confident that we know what we're doing. And this takes a little pride, this takes a little integrity, and that's something that we want to convey to all our consumers, all of our buyers, that they can trust us. We're not going to go, we're going to go full at it. We're not going to skip the processes or just take, people's time. We want to really put forth an effort that we care. Which, that's why I jumped on, is because I cared enough to help out Parker. He's in Texas, so this is in Chicago in the Midwest. So I take pride in going to these conventions and different venues. It's not all in Chicago. We've been to Iowa, we've been to Wisconsin, Indianapolis, you name it in the Midwest. We've pretty much been there. We still want to grow more, though. Right now I'm the only one in Chicago. There's another rep in Michigan, so I feel like it's growing.
How long have you been doing this for, and what made you want to start doing it?
Yeah, so like I said, Parker was the biggest thing for me was helping him. I saw that he started this company. We met through Whatnot. During the pandemic, I didn't have nothing to do. So literally I would spend hours just watching people sell stuff. An auction-based website, and literally day and night, even in the washroom, in the shower, I would be watching. I was addicted. I was addicted to it. So I met Parker. He's the owner of Monthly Pops. And he was really genuine through video. You know what I mean? You're not through online. You know what I mean? And you don't really get that vibe too often.
Yeah.
But when you find a good person, you click with them, right?
Right.
So with me, I clicked really well with Parker. He took care of all of his customers, and I was like, who is this guy? Like, this guy does really great things. Started following on social media, and then I saw that he was building this mass authentication services. And Richie, where we're at right now at the Midwest Toy Show, he was doing a convention with Jake the Snake.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, I wonder who he has coming to do the certifying his autographs.
Yeah, and a lot of places don't have anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Some places don't have anything,
So,
or a lot of places do it in-house.
Yeah.
Which you don't want. I in my opinion, you want a third party.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love Richie, but you want someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone that you could trust, someone that you can contact.
Someone who's that's actually their real job. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Richie, he does a phenomenal job setting up these shows, but does he have the time to answer customer service or ask, is this real, is this fake, or he doesn't have that time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I jumped on and I started asking questions. I'm like, Richie, who do you have? He got linked up with Parker in Texas, and Parker's like, I don't have anyone, and I trust you. A lot of this is trust.
Yeah, of course.
You can't just send anybody to a convention and think they're going to represent your company.
Right.
So, like anything, I took it and I was like, you know what, Parker, this would be an opportunity for me to grow. Also, help you where you can't be here. I'm 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
I'm not far. So I took that opportunity, and it really was a phenomenal experience. I got to meet Jake the Snake. He was phenomenal. Great person. And really that's how we started. Small, one person, one celebrity. And then from there we just scaled it out, you know. I started messaging people on Instagram, messaging them on Facebook, kind of like how I messaged you guys back, right? Yeah. So, a lot of this is building relationships, building that connection, and building that trust together.
I'm curious, was there ever a moment where someone brought you something that was autographed, and you had to give them the bad news that, hey, this is a fake?
100%. Yeah.
He did say that there was some stuff by experience. So I had a feeling that there was going to be something like that.
Yeah. We've gotten some things in where,
like a Vince McMahon's dad's autographs.
I'm right away like iffy on it. Like, all right, I'm giving you an example, right? Johnny Depp.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Depp.
I got to hear this.
Someone brought me a Johnny Depp autograph, and that was just not one. It was like 3, 4 items, 6 items, and I'm like, oh, this don't look feel right.
Yeah.
Let me ask what's going on, and then the different characteristics on the waves and the slants and stuff like that. They pointed out to me, and they're like, yeah, just pass on this. We don't feel confident. So I went back to the guy. I'm like, hey man, this is not something that I like doing, but I have to let you know we can't authenticate this. He took it a little bit, he wasn't happy. He was not happy. Yeah. That's for sure. He was not happy, but I'd rather be honest with them than sell them a dream. That's something that that could get backlash. Not only me but them. Too. Whenever you have that type of celebrity, an A-lister,
right,
blockbuster type celebrity, you have to be 100% sure.
That's what I'm curious. Okay, so like someone brings you something signed by Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah.
And how do you go about finding out, okay, how do you know, okay, this is real or not? What can you tell from the Johnny Depp signature that, okay, no, this is...
So I'm not an expert.
Like right? You said, there's some good tattoo artists out there.
Yeah, so. Oh yeah. So a little bit like the curves and the cursive and the writing, they were able to key on some keystrokes like paint pen strokes, and that's how they were able to determine that some of the lines didn't connect fully.
Okay.
And they can tell by some of the curves and the connections. It wasn't his penmanship. It wasn't his penmanship. So a lot of it, if they lift up the pen and put it back down, they can tell. They can tell. These guys are experts. So I fully trust them, because I can easily just go on eBay or any other and just compare it, right? But the pictures don't do justice.
Right.
Not really to mention that you could probably also find another fake online, and you're now comparing it fake to fake.
You could also, you got to be careful with that, because Online, there's just a lot of scammers, and you just don't ever know.
Yeah.
You can't just trust the picture.
Right,
so,
right.
This is interesting, man, because I watched a lot of Pawn Stars.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I always love those episodes when they do bring in those autographs.
Yeah.
And they bring in that guy that has like that camera, and then he's got like records of signatures. And it's very, very detailed when they zoom in and everything. So when I saw what you were doing, I'm like, that's nuts that he probably is doing the same thing,
So the good thing is that we're right next to them.
Yeah.
If I wasn't right next to them, then we could have some issues, but we're catching everyone that's just getting done.
Right.
So they come see us next. They spend 15, 20 minutes with each celebrity, and we're within arm's length of them. We can really see how they're autographing everything. So that's the good thing about being on site.
Yeah.
Is that we don't have to question anything. You're bringing me Majin Buu, you're bringing me Josh Martin, you're bringing me Rikishi. I can see that, and I know it's real.
Yeah.
And we're not far from them. And that's the advantage we have, is that we get placed right next to the celebrities. When we get these autographs from Johnny Depp and all that, it takes some time, and it's not a short process. I usually tell people it takes 15 to 20 minutes. So I don't approve anything until I get the okay.
Okay.
And that's part of the team. And there's some things I know right away. Like, oh, that's real. All right, wait, hold on, right here. This one right here, we got to double check.
So because I'm curious, like we did the LC3,
Yeah.
and we noticed how when everyone was getting their autographs from the voice actors right away, they'd come to you.
Yep.
And now when they come to you with the autographs that they just got, now what are you doing from there?
So from there, I explain them the process if they don't know who we are. I tell them where we're going to put the certificate. I also ask them, like, hey, is this okay right here? We touch everything, and we take everything with care. We touch everything exactly as if we were them,
Yeah.
So a lot of it is explaining, just making sure that they know it's going to be on the website. It's a QR code. It takes you direct to the website, the database. It'll let you know what item was signed, who signed it, and where it was signed at. Those three key things is the information I need in order to put it into our system.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I let them know, hey, thank you for stopping by. Make sure to check out our website. The information that I gathered here today won't be ready until next week. Maybe around midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, because each one has to be entered into the system manually. So a lot of it is transferring over, mapping it over, and that takes some time. It depends on, smaller conventions, you could do 40 certificates, and then there's other ones where you have to do 300-400, you know what I mean? So it all depends.
So I noticed that when you were doing this stuff, you were putting your logo sticker on all the things that you were authenticating. When that happens, for the sake of argument, is there risk of there being these fake stickers going out there so that, for example, when people fake these things, are there other companies that has happened to?
Yes.
Is there a risk for the consumer? So I get my stuff autographed or authenticated, I'm sorry. And here I am walking around thinking I have like this amazing, legit thing, and it's got a sticker and everything. And here I go, and my whole world crumbles, and they're like, "Sorry, sir, this ain't real."
So mostly in general for the community, right? It's a lot of it's based on integrity, right? We trust you. We're giving you value. We want you to respect, your witness, your certificate. So there have been companies that have some, issues in the past. Not us, typically, not us, but where they've had some associates that worked with them doing some side deals, doing some of this shady stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they're no longer with the companies that they worked for, but I've heard of those stories that you talk of. But for the most part, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste anyone else's time. I'm here to do one certain thing, and my responsibility is to make sure that you get your peace of mind, which is what we're giving them. You know what I mean? That if in the future, for unforeseeable circumstances, that they might have to resell this item or prove that this is real, the QR code, the sticker, is tamper-proof.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you can't just peel it off and put it on another. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's tamper-proof. It's not gonna come off correctly. It's gonna be a big mess, right? So that's what steps that we implemented in these stickers is that it can't be forged or put on anything else.
Okay.
So that way, everyone has that peace of mind, you know, that you feel secure. Okay, there's no way that this is going to be fake or false.
For anybody like wondering what's going on in the background, all this screaming and yelling, my guess is that someone's backing it up right now somewhere. Rikishi just entered the building. Mm-hmm. So, quick question before we finish up here with you. We talked about like your Johnny Depp story about that being fake.
Yeah.
Tell us about the most amazing, legit.
I was about to ask the same one.
Signature that walked in and you're like, holy crap! I can't believe this is in front of me right now.
I believe it's been some wrestlers like Stone Cold, you know, The Rock. Mm-hmm. Those are mostly the ones that I like, you know, because I grew up with wrestling, you know.
Yeah, those are a little common because sometimes, somewhere back in the day, people had those. Nowadays, they're impossible to get.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they weren't that hard. You know, I have a Stone Cold one. It's not in somewhere that I'm gonna like present.
So if they're, you know, with the wrestling, if they're still under contract with WWE. You know, a lot of times they're not doing these small conventions or any private signings. They got a strict contract.
Yeah.
A lot of it goes through Fanatics. So, yeah, I mean, like the Uso brothers, you don't see too many autographs of them, you know. Mm-hmm. If I came across that, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty cool, you know. There's some ones that you don't really see, like Tom Cruise. He has some pops, but he doesn't do any signings. You know what I mean? And he's really, really conscientious about his likeness. He doesn't let anyone just use his face, his likeness. So, there's been some. I can't recall off the top of my head, but yeah, I would say probably the first things I think of is the wrestlers. Yeah. You know, so. Yeah, that's my wife calling.
No, we want to say thank you, man. We know we know you're busy today, but thank you, man, for coming and hanging out.
We'll try and see if we could find some more time. I would love to sit down and talk to you guys for hours.
No, for sure.
These guys are phenomenal.
No, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Before we head up out of here, just let people know where they can find your website.
So, Mass Certified on Instagram, Mass Certified online, masscertified.com. I'm iCollectForYou, so if you need my personal, you could always reach out to me on iCollectForYou. That's iCollect and the number 4 and the letter U.
All right. Well, I want to give a big thanks to Mr. Ernesto Ruiz for joining us, man. And for that, we say, Salud, cabrones. We out.
We out, guys.